This week in superheroics, Marvel officially enters Phase 3, and it promises to become even more confusing to explain to non-nerds than ever before. I'm Phil Boothman, and it's all connected. Greetings superhumans and welcome to the Trinity, the show where I pick 3 of the week's best superhero news stories and then throw shade over them to make myself feel better because I've become something of a curmudgeon ever since my wife got lost in the quantum realm. First up this week, the baddest ass member of the Warriors 3 has revealed a few small details about an upcoming Marvel movie, and I'm gonna jump all over them because things have gotten really quiet since Comic-Con. Jamie Alexander, who plays Lady Sif in both the Thor movies and multiple appearances on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., has confirmed that not only will she be in Thor Ragnarok, she will also have a much larger role to play than she has in the past, which honestly isn't that difficult considering how underutilised she was in the past 2 movies. Although at least she didn't get left on a farm and forgotten about like Hogan. That was unfortunate. While details about the upcoming Thor threequel, and yes, I do hate that word, almost as much as I hate the word squeakquel, are relatively thin on the ground, chances are it will involve the mythical apocalypse of the Norse gods, possibly brought about by the fact that evil heartthrob Loki is currently masquerading as his own dad in what he believes to be his rightful place on the throne of Asgard. Damn, Loki. You got issues. However it plays out, Alexander has stated that Sif's role in the movie will be pivotal, which I'm really hoping doesn't mean she gets fridged in the second act in order to give Thor motivation like his badass mama was in Thor the Dark World. Wow, I'm only just realising that I may have issues with the way that movie treated its characters. Not only that, but she also dropped some hints about how the more rapidly upcoming Marvel venture Captain America Civil War will do work along with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in setting up the events of Ragnarok. So will someone please make a goddamn infographic about how all these movies and TV shows connect up so I don't have to try and explain it to people and give myself a gushing nosebleed every time they ask. Anywho, Thor Ragnarok is coming to cinemas on November 3rd, 2017, and speaking of Civil War, joining Jamie Alexander in being a big old tease, this week a certain former halfling threw down some clues about his character in next year's first big tentpole comic book movie. It was announced some time ago that lovable hobbit slash former army doctor and sidekick to a high-functioning sociopath slash Minnesotan multiple murderer Martin Freeman would be joining the cast of Captain America Civil War in an undisclosed role. Well, that role is still undisclosed, but Freeman himself has provided some hints that give us nerds a pretty good idea of who he might be playing. Freeman states he works for the American government. He works in conjunction with the superheroes and certain agencies that help to tame the superheroes' power, I suppose. So you're not quite sure which side he's on. It looks a little bit like he's playing one game when actually he's playing another. It's the kind of character I like because it's ambiguous and because you don't know whether he's good or bad. I like that area that isn't black or white. I like the greys because I think there's just more fun to be had in not playing one obvious line. Well, it's a long quote, but one that pretty much boils down to, I might be good, I might be bad. Wait and see. However, while he has been somewhat scant with the details, that hasn't stopped the almighty juggernaut that is the Nerd Collective from speculating about who Martin Freeman might be playing. Smart money right now is on Henry Peter Gyrich, an NSA/CIA agent and sometime liaison to the Avengers. Gyrich is famous for slapping down a whole bunch of rules on our favourite super team, including a 7-person membership limit and special permissions that need to be granted in order for the big hitters to enter a dangerous situation. Basically, he's a colossal killjoy, but he fits into the concept of Civil War pretty neatly. Oh, and he once also tried to wipe out superhumans entirely. But he was under the control of underused Marvel Cinematic Universe villain Baron Strucker at the time, so I guess we'll give him a pass on that one. Whoever he ends up playing, Martin Freeman will be joining a multitude of Marvel stars, old and new, in next year's Captain America Civil War. And we could be seeing the first footage from the movie at Disney's D23 Expo in mid-August, so keep your eyes on the internet. And finally, CW's OG superhero show has confirmed several new cast members for the upcoming 4th season, and at least one of them has the internet muttering a collective, what? Joining the cast of Arrow for this year's adventures is Echo Kellum as Curtis Holt, an employee of Palmer Technologies, which is now run by the inimitable Felicity Smoke, who also happens to moonlight as a superhero known as Mr. Terrific. Not to be confused with Mr. Fantastic or Mr. Incredible, all very different characters. In the comics, Mr. Terrific is a genius inventor and athlete who is supposedly the best at everything, and who will undoubtedly follow in Ray Palmer's footsteps and embrace his superhero identity at some point this year, because everyone in this show ends up being either a superhero or dead. Seriously, all of them. Also joining the cast is Alexander Calver as a villain who has a habit of causing problems for the big bad bat himself, the moderately Guy Fawkes-inspired terrorist Anarchy. Oh, not that Guy Fawkes-inspired comic book terrorists. My bad. That's more like it. The character will be familiar to fans of the popular Batman Arkham video game franchise, having appeared in Arkham Origins, where he pretty much just tries to blow a bunch of stuff up, or succeeds in blowing a bunch of stuff up, depending on your skill level. When I was playing through the game, he successfully blew a bunch of stuff up. Anyway, we can expect Anarchy to embroil Oliver in some of his trademark shenanigans. Can we call legitimate terrorist activity shenanigans? Answers down below. In a multi-episode arc this season. Finally, Jimmy Akingbola has joined the flashbacks as the villainous Baron Reiter, also known in the comic books as the amazingly named Baron Blitzkrieg. In case you were wondering, I do still love comic books. Who is the leader of an organisation called Shadow Spire, which will reportedly be trying to recruit past Oliver to its cause this season. The casting choice is confusing a lot of people because Akingbola is a black actor and Baron Reiter has traditionally been portrayed as a goddamn Nazi. Yeah, I bet you thought I was going to say white then, didn't you? I subvert your expectations. However, showrunner Mark Guggenheim has confirmed that the version of the character we will be seeing will just be Baron Reiter and not Baron Blitzkrieg. No Nazi connections, just connections to a shadowy organisation which I'm now betting good money will be a past version of Hive, because everything from the flashbacks always ends up in the present in this show. However things turn out, season 4 of Arrow is gathering momentum and will be on our screens on October 7th. So are you excited to see more of kick-ass Lady Sif in Thor Ragnarok? Who do you think Martin Freeman is playing in Civil War? And which fictional Nazi would you like to show up in a primetime CW show? Leave your answers to these questions down below or on Twitter with the hashtag StaySuper, and your comments could be featured in the next Alter Ego video blog. And until next time, stay super!